Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt drained without anyone even speaking a word to you? Or finished a conversation and thought, why do I feel so exhausted? That's not a coincidence. It's your energy leaking. In a world filled with distractions, negativity, and emotional noise, your energy is under attack every single day. But here's the truth most people never realize. If you don't protect your energy, you can't elevate your life. And in this message, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that with clarity, purpose, and discipline. Today, energy is your greatest currency. Everything in your life is influenced by the quality of your energy. How you think, how you feel, how you respond, how you show up. Most people go through their days measuring their success by time or money, but the truth is, neither of those matter if your energy is depleted. Time without energy is just existence. Money without energy is just stress with a bank account. But when you have energy, real, focused, grounded energy, you can create, build, connect, and grow at a level that's impossible when you're running on empty. Energy is what allows you to be present in conversations, to perform at your peak, to stay patient when things go wrong, and to stay disciplined when no one is watching. Without it, the smallest task feels like a mountain. With it, mountains feel like a challenge you're ready for. You can have a great idea, a strong work ethic, and all the opportunity in the world, but if your energy is scattered, drained, or mismanaged, none of it will move you forward. And yet, most people spend more time charging their phones than they do recharging their own internal battery. Your energy is also contagious. Walk into a room with low, negative, chaotic energy and you feel it. Walk into a room with someone who is calm, clear, and centered, and you feel that too. People respond to your energy before they respond to your words. They sense whether you're aligned or chaotic, focused or fragmented, authentic or pretending. That's why protecting it isn't a luxury. It's a strategy. And energy isn't just physical. It's emotional, mental, even spiritual. What you think, what you feel, what you focus on, all of it is either energizing you or draining you. Your beliefs can uplift or deplete you. Your environment can inspire or exhaust you. Even your posture, your breathing, the tone of your voice, they all reflect your internal state. When you learn to manage these elements, you begin to understand just how powerful energy is in shaping every outcome in your life. Step 2, say no to energy drainers. Saying no to energy drainers is not about being cold or dismissive. It's about choosing what supports your growth over what sabotages it. Every time you allow someone or something to drain your energy, you're making an unconscious decision to delay your progress. Energy drainers come in many forms. They're not always loud or obvious. Sometimes they're the subtle commitments you agree to out of guilt, the constant notifications that pull you out of focus, the people who always seem to need something but never bring anything back into your life. There are people who feed your spirit, and there are people who feed off it. And if you don't discern between the two, you'll end up running on fumes, wondering why your motivation has disappeared, why your goals feel so far away, or why you're always tired even when you've had enough sleep. Energy drainers are often disguised as obligations. The event you didn't want to go to. The phone call you felt pressured to answer. The conversation that always leaves you feeling anxious or emotionally heavy. These moments stack up. Over time, they weigh you down. You lose clarity, confidence, and the spark that drives you. And let's not forget the mental and emotional drainers: overthinking, worrying about what others think, replaying past mistakes. These habits chew through your energy in silence behind the scenes. They occupy your mind, tighten your body, and steal your ability to stay present. If your mental energy is constantly tied up in fear, resentment, comparison, or regret, you have very little left to give to your vision. One of the hardest lessons is understanding that just because someone has been in your life for a long time doesn't mean they belong in your future. Loyalty should never cost you your peace. You can care about someone and still protect yourself from their chaos. You can be kind without being available. Saying no isn't rejection, it's redirection. It's a way of honoring your priorities, your purpose, and your path. Even your environment can be an energy drainer. Cluttered spaces, loud, chaotic settings, constant stimulation. When your surroundings are in disorder, your mind follows. You start to feel uncentered, overstimulated, distracted. That's why it's important to create space, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, for what truly serves you. You can't elevate your life while constantly making room for what brings you down. 3. Master your inner dialogue. Mastering your inner dialogue is one of the most powerful things you can do to change the trajectory of your life, because the voice inside your head shapes every decision you make, every emotion you feel, and every action you take. It's not just what happens around you that determines your experience. It's what you tell yourself about what's happening. Your inner dialogue is the filter through which you interpret the world. If that filter is negative, doubtful, or full of fear, then even the best opportunities will feel threatening. If that filter is empowering, encouraging, and focused, you'll find strength and clarity in the middle of chaos. We all have that voice. The question is, who's in control of it? Most people never realize how much of their energy is drained not by the world outside, but by the war going on inside. Constant self-criticism, second-guessing, replaying failures, assuming the worst. These thoughts run on autopilot and chip away at your confidence and peace of mind. They create stress that isn't even rooted in reality, but in imagined scenarios, in stories built from fear, shame, or past wounds that were never healed. And the longer these loops run unchecked, the more they become your identity. But here's the truth. Your mind is programmable. And if you don't program it with intention, it gets programmed by your environment, by your past, by other people's fears, by societal conditioning. Learning to master your inner dialogue means interrupting that autopilot. It means paying attention to the stories you're telling yourself, questioning whether they're even true, and replacing them with language that lifts you rather than limits you. Not about lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. It's about being honest and intentional. Instead of, I'm not good enough, ask, what am I learning right now? Instead of, I always mess things up, ask, what can I do differently this time? Instead of saying, this will never work, say, what's one step I can take right now to move forward? These shifts may seem small, but they're everything, because your brain listens to your words and your body responds to your thoughts. The language you use internally shapes your mood, your energy levels, your focus, and ultimately your behavior. Even the tone of your inner voice matters. Is it harsh and punishing, or is it calm and encouraging? Would you speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself? If not, why do you think it's okay to treat yourself that way? When your inner dialogue becomes more supportive, your relationship with yourself changes. And when you have that foundation of self-trust and clarity, you're able to handle setbacks without falling apart, take risks without drowning in doubt, and pursue goals with a level of belief that turns vision into reality. Mastery doesn't mean perfection. It means awareness. It means catching the thought before it spirals. It means choosing a better one again and again until that becomes your new default. Your energy flows where your attention goes, and your attention is guided by the words you feed your mind. Set boundaries without guilt. Setting boundaries without guilt is a crucial skill, yet one that many people struggle with. It's easy to get caught in the mindset that saying no to others means you're being selfish, that putting yourself first makes you appear cold or unloving. But the reality is, boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about protecting your own space, energy, and well-being. Without boundaries, your time, energy, and resources are up for grabs by anyone who demands them. People will continue to ask for your attention, your help, and your involvement until you create a clear distinction between what is yours and what is theirs. And if you don't protect yourself, you'll burn out, feel resentful, and eventually become ineffective in your relationships and in your own life. Boundaries are essential for maintaining balance. They allow you to prioritize your own needs and desires without feeling like you're neglecting others. And this doesn't make you a bad person. In fact, it makes you a healthier, more effective person in every area of your life. When you set clear boundaries, you're not only taking care of yourself, but you're also showing others how to respect your time and energy. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. But so often we let guilt seep in when we assert our boundaries. We fear rejection, disappointment, or conflict. We worry that people won't understand or that we'll disappoint someone who depends on us. The reality is, when you say no or set a limit, you're making a choice to honor your own needs. If someone becomes upset because you set a boundary, that's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability to respect your needs. It's important to remember that other people's emotions or reactions are not your responsibility. You are not here to carry their burdens, fix their problems, or meet all their demands. Guilt arises from the misconception that we must constantly put others first, that selflessness means giving until we have nothing left. But in truth, true selflessness is not about sacrificing your well-being for others. It's about being able to show up as your best self when it matters most. If you are constantly depleted and giving from an empty cup, you'll only have empty energy to give. Setting boundaries ensures that you are giving from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Learning to set boundaries without guilt also involves understanding that you don't owe anyone an explanation for why you need space or why you need to say no. You don't need to justify your reasons. Your time, energy, and attention are valuable, and you have the right to decide how they're spent. It's important to communicate your boundaries clearly and kindly, without apology. You don't need to explain every reason behind your decision. Sometimes a simple "I'm not available for that right now" is enough. You don't need to over-explain, over-apologize, or make excuses. Your needs are valid, and your time is yours to protect. Another element of guilt-free boundaries is understanding that boundaries are flexible. They are not rigid walls. They're guidelines for what feels right for you in different situations. What works for you today might need to shift tomorrow based on your circumstances or how you're feeling. Boundaries are not set in stone. They're adaptable to your needs and priorities. However, the key is knowing when it's time to reassert or adjust those boundaries without feeling bad about it. You have permission to change your mind, to say no even after you've said yes, and to take back your time and energy as needed. It's not about being rigid or inflexible. It's about being in tune with yourself and your needs. Setting boundaries also means learning to handle the discomfort that comes with them. The discomfort of letting someone down, the discomfort of potentially disappointing others. But remember, discomfort doesn't last forever. In fact, discomfort is often a sign that you are growing, that you are stepping into your own power and taking control of your life. The more you practice setting boundaries, the more natural it will feel. You will stop second-guessing yourself, and you will stop feeling guilty for prioritizing your well-being. Finally, setting boundaries without guilt is about being unapologetic in the pursuit of your own peace. If you continue to allow the demands of others to dictate your energy and time, you'll eventually lose yourself in the process. Boundaries are not about rejecting others. They're about reclaiming your own space, your energy, and your time so that you can give from a place of strength rather than depletion. Step 5, align with high energy habits. Aligning with high energy habits is one of the most powerful ways to elevate your life because your habits shape your state of being every single day. Your energy doesn't just come from external sources or moments of inspiration. It comes from the consistent choices you make, often without even thinking about it. The habits you engage in shape the energy you carry and the energy you project. Whether you realize it or not, each habit is either giving you power or taking it away. The great news is you have control over which habits you cultivate. And when you align with habits that elevate your energy, you not only feel better, you perform better, connect better, and create better results in every area of your life. High energy habits don't just focus on your physical body. They also nurture your emotional and mental well-being. At the foundation, your body is a vessel, and just like any vessel, it needs proper fuel, care, and maintenance to run at its optimal level. If you want to sustain high levels of energy throughout the day, you need to align with habits that support physical vitality. This means choosing to eat nutrient-dense foods that nourish and energize rather than deplete. It's not about extreme diets or restrictions. It's about fueling your body with the right combination of foods that help you feel vibrant, alert, and strong. Equally important is rest. Many people neglect the importance of quality sleep, thinking that pushing through with caffeine or sheer willpower will keep them going. But when you deprive your body of rest, your energy reserves are drained. Sleep is when your body repairs, regenerates, and restores its energy. It's the reset button you need to function at your best the next day. High energy people understand the value of rest and make it a priority. They don't sacrifice their health for productivity. They understand that in order to perform at their peak, they need the foundation of solid, restorative sleep. Physical movement is another key component of high energy habits. The body wasn't designed to sit still for long periods. It thrives on movement. Exercise releases endorphins, boosts circulation, and enhances brain function. Whether it's a daily walk, yoga session, or intense workout, incorporating regular physical activity into your routine increases your overall energy and mental clarity. But it's not just about the intensity of the movement. It's about consistency. A few minutes each day can make all the difference in how you feel, how you think, and how you approach life. Your emotional energy is equally important. High energy habits aren't just about your physical state. They're also about how you manage your emotions. Practices like gratitude, mindfulness, and positive self-talk can have a profound impact on your emotional energy. When you consciously choose to focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your emotional state from one of lack and negativity to one of abundance and positivity. Gratitude has the power to replenish your energy, filling you with a sense of peace and joy no matter what is happening in your external environment. Meditation or mindfulness practices can also help you cultivate emotional balance, keeping your mind clear and focused while reducing stress and anxiety. Mental energy is just as critical. What you feed your mind has a direct effect on your energy levels. When you constantly consume negative news, toxic social media, or engage in unproductive thought patterns, you're feeding your mind with energy-depleting content. On the other hand, when you prioritize reading books that inspire you, listening to podcasts that elevate your mindset, or engaging in discussions that stimulate your growth, you fill your mind with high energy material. This helps you stay mentally sharp and engaged, ready to take on challenges with enthusiasm and creativity. One of the most important high energy habits is the way you start your day. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you wake up feeling rushed, anxious, or overwhelmed, that energy will follow you through the rest of the day. But when you align with high energy habits in the morning, you prime yourself for success. This could mean waking up early, practicing gratitude, doing some form of exercise, and setting clear intentions for the day. A positive, energizing start to your day has the power to shift your mindset, boost your productivity, and give you the mental and emotional clarity you need to move through life with purpose. High energy habits are also about the environment you create for yourself. If your environment is cluttered, chaotic, or negative, it will drain your energy. But when you create a space that is organized, calm, and inspiring, you give yourself the physical and emotional energy to focus and be productive. This means taking time to declutter your physical surroundings. Create a workspace that nurtures creativity and surround yourself with things that lift you up rather than drain you. One of the most transformative aspects of aligning with high energy habits is learning to protect your energy from external sources. High energy people are mindful of the people they interact with, the media they consume, and the environments they put themselves in. They understand that being around negative, toxic influences can drain their energy, whereas positive, uplifting interactions can rejuvenate them. They choose to spend time with people who inspire them, who uplift them, and who encourage them to grow. Aligning with high energy habits is not about doing everything perfectly. It's about making intentional choices each day that support the type of person you want to become. It's about consistency. It's about building momentum. The more you align with high energy habits, the more natural it becomes to live with vitality, clarity, and purpose. Over time, these habits compound, elevating every aspect of your life. Your physical health improves, your mental clarity sharpens, and your emotional resilience strengthens. You become a force, an unstoppable presence in your own life, fully equipped to handle challenges and create the outcomes you desire. Step 6, protect to project. The concept of protect to project revolves around the idea that in order to project strength, clarity, and confidence into the world, you must first protect your inner energy, your peace, and your focus. The energy you carry is not something you can take for granted. It's fragile and can be easily influenced by external factors, people, situations, environments, and even your own thoughts. If you don't actively protect your energy, you risk becoming depleted, distracted, or disconnected from your true potential. But when you protect your energy, you set the stage for it to radiate outwards, influencing everything you do and everyone you encounter. Protecting your energy means taking deliberate steps to guard against emotional, mental, and physical drainers that can pull you off course. The people you surround yourself with, the tasks you take on, and the information you allow into your mind all affect your energy in profound ways. When you fail to protect these sources of influence, you allow external forces to dictate how you feel and how you show up in the world. But when you actively choose to protect your energy, you create a solid foundation from which your power can grow and flourish. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from others or rejecting all outside influence. It means being discerning about where you invest your time, energy, and attention. It's about understanding that not every conversation is worth having, not every request is worth fulfilling, and not every negative emotion or interaction is worth absorbing. Protecting your energy starts with knowing what drains you and consciously choosing to disengage from those energy drainers. This may mean saying no to invitations that don't align with your goals, distancing yourself from people who bring negativity, or avoiding situations that put unnecessary pressure on your mental and emotional well-being. The more intentional you are about what you let into your life, the more you preserve the energy you need to pursue your purpose. In this process, your mindset plays a crucial role. It's important to protect your inner dialogue from negative self-talk and self-doubt. The stories you tell yourself shape your emotional state, and your emotional state dictates your energy levels. If you're constantly battling with inner criticism or worrying about what others think, you're giving away your energy to fear and insecurity. By protecting your thoughts and beliefs, you stop the flow of negative energy from taking root in your mind and instead create space for positive, empowering thoughts that help you stay focused and resilient. Protecting your energy also means prioritizing self-care and personal well-being. Your body is the vessel that carries you through life, and if you neglect its needs, it becomes more difficult to project the energy you desire. Regular rest, physical exercise, healthy nutrition, and relaxation are essential to maintain the physical energy required to pursue your goals and show up as your best self. When you take care of your body, you create a sense of vitality that radiates into every aspect of your life. This physical protection is the foundation for everything else: mental clarity, emotional stability, and even when you protect your energy, you build resilience. You become less susceptible to the ups and downs of life, the stress of external circumstances, and the demands of others. You learn how to stay centered and grounded no matter what challenges come your way. And from this place of inner stability, you can project confidence, calm, and clarity into the world. People feel this energy. They respond to it as magnetic. When you show up in a space, whether it's a meeting, a social gathering, or even a simple conversation, your energy speaks before you do. If your energy is full, focused, and positive, it creates an aura of presence that attracts opportunities, nurtures relationships, and establishes trust. Attracting your energy also means creating boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to shut people out. They are filters to allow only what serves your highest good into your life. By setting boundaries, you create a safe space where your energy can thrive, free from unnecessary interruptions, distractions, or demands. You establish clear guidelines for how you want to be treated, what you will and won't tolerate, and what you need to maintain your peace. And the more consistently you uphold these boundaries, the more you protect your energy, and the stronger your presence becomes. When you protect your energy, you also give yourself permission to be selective about where you invest your time and attention. You stop saying yes to things that drain you and start saying yes to things that fuel you. This could mean focusing more on your passions, prioritizing relationships that lift you up, or committing to activities that align with your goals. As you do this, you begin to shift your focus away from the noise and distractions of the world and toward what truly matters. Your energy becomes more intentional, more purposeful, and more aligned with the life you want to create. The act of protection also requires vigilance and discipline. It's easy to fall into old patterns or get swept up by the demands of others. But by consistently choosing to protect your energy, you reinforce the message that your well-being is a priority. This discipline helps you stay focused on your long-term goals rather than getting sidetracked by short-term distractions or emotional setbacks. You learn to protect your time, your resources, and your focus as sacred, and in doing so, you create the conditions for greater personal power and impact. Ultimately, the more you protect your energy, the more you elevate your ability to project positivity, strength, and influence. When you are full, you radiate outwards. Your energy becomes contagious. It inspires others. It draws in the opportunities and connections you need to advance. People are naturally attracted to high-energy individuals because they exude confidence, purpose, and calm. They are magnetic because they project their energy intentionally, knowing that it is their greatest asset. The key to projecting your best self into the world is to first protect the energy that fuels you. By cultivating a sense of inner peace, emotional stability, and physical vitality, you create a foundation from which your energy can flow freely and abundantly. And as you do, you not only protect your well-being, but you also create an unstoppable force that drives you towards the success, joy, and fulfillment you deserve. In closing, remember that the power to elevate your life is in your hands, and it begins with protecting your energy. When you guard your peace, align with high energy habits, and set clear boundaries, you create a life that radiates positivity, focus, and purpose. The world responds to the energy you project, and by taking intentional steps to preserve and nurture that energy, you unlock the door to limitless possibilities. The journey to a more empowered, fulfilled life doesn't happen by chance. It happens through the choices you make every single day. So protect your energy, elevate your habits, and watch as your life transforms into something greater than you ever imagined. The best version of you is already within, waiting to emerge. Now is the time to protect, project, and live fully.